Greetings, YouTubers, and welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts video. Do you guys want to go through a box of vintage monster magazines? If you answered yes, then go get a snack and a beverage, kick your feet up, and let's take a look at this little box of goodies here. We'll start with that one right after this intro. So the first one here is called Horror Tales, and it came out in January 1970, and it was 35 cents. Really cool cover art on these old monster books. I don't have a lot of them, but they're really fun. I would like to get more. They're getting more and more expensive as time goes on. Featuring House of Monsters and Witch and the Werewolf, plus other spine-snapping tales from worlds beyond. The next one is also Horror Tales, but this one was from June of 1972, and now it's 60 cents. So it went up from 35 to 60 within about a year and a half, 2 years. The Ghastly Terror of the Skeleton. I'm not going to open all of these, but I'll open a couple just so you guys can see the inside and how it looks. We can maybe look at a couple of ads and some of the artwork inside. These are like monster comic books, magazine size. I think we'll pop this one open and take a look at it. This is Horror Tales from December of 1973, and it's still only 60 cents. So it's about a year-ish. What was the last one? It was June of 72. So like a year and a half, it's still 60 cents. That's pretty good. And you can see that they had a date stamp. September 26th it was received, so they got the magazine in September for the December shelf. I'm not really sure how that worked, but it sounds like they got it at least a couple of months sooner. This one's called The Shocking Circle of Terror, and these covers are really good. Sinister masons rise from their graves and build a dead man's tomb. Look at that. I'm going to pause it, take it out, and we'll take a quick look through the magazine. I'd like to get more of these, but they're becoming more and more expensive to find these, especially in condition. You know, if you get them in good condition, it's going to be a little bit more, obviously. So here are some of the ads. We'll take a look at some of these. What kind of ads did they have in 1970? Was it 2 or 3? I forget already. 1973. You got the non-stop clacking teeth, a trick baseball, a joy buzzer. That's kind of a Hall of Fame gag gift, right, from these ads. A joy buzzer, and the X-ray glasses was also another mainstay, I guess, in some of these magazines. You get a monster ghost over 7 feet tall. Silent dog whistle, a whoopee cushion, that's another one. Since the dawn of time, people had whoopee cushions. There's a couple banks you can throw your voice, a finger chopper. Ooh, a Raquel Welch pillow for $2. It says, what man wouldn't enjoy spending a night with Raquel Welch? Well, we can't deliver her, but we can deliver the next best thing. A 12-inch by 24-inch inflatable pillow. Oh my God. You know there was kids that were just destroying that thing, if you know what I'm saying. A werewolf horror mask. sea monkeys for $1. Let me move this box a little bit so we can, and there's a table of contents. I'm not a book grader or comic book grader by any means, and I don't know, you know, what to even begin to look for, but I do know that these pages are yellowing, and I think they get dinged for that, right? If it's white, that's what you want. You want white, that's the higher collectible, and then off-white, and then it goes down and down. I'm not sure what they would call this, cream or something like that, but I don't ever plan on getting these graded or anything. So, I mean, other than the coloring on the paper, these are in really good condition, so I'm pretty happy with this. And actually, I'm not even that weirded out about the yellow. I think it looks kind of cool to have that patina of age on there. I know maybe collectors want it yellow. I mean, a white, bright white and not yellow, but I don't care. Pretty decent artwork. Again, I'm not a comic book aficionado. There's guys on here with way more knowledge. I hardly have any knowledge about comic books, but I do like to read them and I like to look at them. That's all I can really do. Chinese Kung Fu, the deadly oriental fighting art of instantaneous death that requires no strength or close body contact. How you like that? There's a zombies story in this book. I guess, you know, the art is pretty good, I think. I think it looks good. Yeah, they make those zombies look pretty good, I think. Look at this little guy here. He's like a witch doctor or something. They were calling him Kalu, K-A-L-U, Kalu. Yeah, this is pretty good. Pretty good stuff. So that, let's see, there's a crease. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me. Looks like somebody even taped it at one point. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it from the phone. But if you do that, see how maybe over time some of the glue from the tape, I don't know if it melted or whatever, and it left kind of a, hold on, let me focus that a little bit more. You can see right there where my thumb is that some of that glue or whatever was on the back of that tape kind of bled into the page prior. So that was Horror Tales from December 1973. Okay, so the next one is called Classic Horror Tales, and this is called the jumbo size, if you can see that at the top corner. And this thing's pretty thick. I would guess it's probably about double the size of the previous Horror Tales. Let's see if we can get I don't know if we're gonna be able to tell here, but it's at least double, maybe more. So that's a pretty good deal. Let's see what the price tag is. Collector's edition, oops, from May 1976, $2. So it went up quite a bit, but it's like double the size, and that's a few years later now, so that makes sense. Really good artwork still. I like that right there. Let's see if I can make that be the thumbnail for this video. Dracula. Ooh. That's creepy. Here's another jumbo size, and this one was from May 1977. It's still $2. Curse of the Vampire Nightmare and Blood, Spirit of the Witch, and Pool of Evil. Ooh, that's cool. Maybe that'll be my thumbnail. See if I can get that as my thumbnail. These covers are really good. Now we're back to the kind of the thinner magazine here, but it's still called a special issue collector's edition, but it went back to the original thickness, not the double thick. This one was from August 1977. It went back down, or went down to $1.50 from $2 previously. Featuring Dead Rise from the Ooze in the Head Chopper. The Skeletons plus the Fanged Freak. These are all really good covers. Man, these are good. I gotta buy more of these. I'm gonna leave a YouTuber in the comments. He owns a comic shop. His name is Kevin. And I found out about Kevin through Meyer and Gratu Orloff, which I shared their channel a couple different times here. But if you're interested in like old classic horror magazines and stuff like that, or horror figures and comic books, Kevin at Gotham City Comics is your guy to look up. He's a cool dude. He has a YouTube channel, and you can look him up on Google, and he is very open to talking to you on the phone if you want to order stuff from him. So just give him a call, check him out. I'll leave his channel down below. He's a cool guy. He's got all this kind of stuff. All the stuff that you're seeing here is the kind of stuff that he likes too. So, and as well as Gratu and Meyer Greenblatt and Captain Strangelove. Those guys are all really, really good collectors. I like pulling these out from time to time because I forget which ones I have, and I didn't even remember getting this one. This is called Frankenstein Classic from February 1977. It was $1.25. And this is really cool. The Man-Made Monster Who Rose from the Dead, Boris Karloff. Let's take this one out. I'm going to pause it. We'll flip through it really quick. This thing is in really, really good condition. I know I watched enough comic book channels here on YouTube to know some of the stuff, and they call these spine ticks, and it's just from reading it over time. That means nothing to me. I really don't care about spine ticks at all. But I mean, these edges are pretty nice. But like I said, I don't get books graded. I just like to read them, but I still like to have things in pretty good condition. So I'm pretty happy with this. The way that I got the majority of these was I would buy them in lots. Like, so people would be on eBay or Mercari, and they would be selling like 15 or 20 monster magazines in one lot for a certain price. You can contact them and negotiate and see if they'll come down a little bit, especially if they had their, that lot was on there for a while. If you're kind of watching it and it's been up there for a month, 2 months, whatever, they're more likely to negotiate with you to come down a little bit and get rid of those, but the one downside about doing it like that is you may get doubles, and I have quite a few doubles because of that. But I also feel like I got some really good deals by getting stuff in bulk, in lots. So you got to take the good and the bad, I guess. Eventually I don't like selling stuff. I just don't. And I do have a lot of doubles, and I think eventually what I'll do is I'll just put every double that I have, I'm going to put it on a shelf in the back bedroom, and I'll make a video and show you guys everything that I have doubles of. And if you're interested in doing a trade, I'm open to that. But I won't just trade with anybody. I have to kind of at least know you a little bit. Otherwise, I just don't trust you. You know what I mean? And don't be offended by that, because I really don't trust a lot of people. But yeah, eventually I'll do that, and we'll see if we can make a trade. But I do have a lot of doubles. I've been talking way too much in this video. Let's take a look at some of these images here from Frankenstein movie. I think I do remember going through this here on the channel. We're not going to spend too much time on it. This is just kind of like a the Frankenstein movie in, like comic book form or magazine form. Kind of like a Cliff Notes. There we go. Boris Karloff from The Mummy, 1932. Imhotep. Boris Karloff was a great actor. Such a great monster. He was a classic monster guy. There's the bride. These are fun to go back and revisit. House of Dracula, 1944. You can see Peter Cushing up there. Pretty cool magazine, pretty good condition. Okay, now we're getting into the 80s magazines, and this one is Terrors of Dracula from February 1980. It was $1.75. Still, the art is really good. You get Fangs of Horror, the Strange Vampire Plague, and the Flesh Eaters, plus the Vampire Ghouls, Demons, and Skeletons. Whoa. How cool is that? If you guys like monster books, monster magazines, and you want to hear a guy who is almost like a professor of monster books, is Dracula Orloff and Captain Strangelove, and Dave, who is Meyer Greenblatt. I'm going to leave all their channels below. I want you guys to go check them out, make a new friend. You can go back and check out a lot of these gentlemen have backlogs of videos. You can go check them out. I've been watching Captain Strangelove for probably, however long he's had a channel, maybe 15 years. I've been doing this for about 10 years, making videos, or close to it. But I've had a YouTube channel for probably like 15, 16 years. And Captain Strangelove was one of the first guys I started watching. I've been watching him for years. But that guy is phenomenal with his info. He remembers a lot of things. Dracula Orloff, same thing. These guys really know their stuff. And when Dracula gets going on these monster books, man, that's a treat for me, because I love to hear all this info, and see all this cool stuff. I'll never be able to do it as good as these guys do, but I can at least point you in their direction so you can go check out their channels. So please do go down, check out Kevin, Gotham City Comics, check out Meyer Greenblatt, check out Captain Strangelove, and Dracula Orloff. Definitely check those guys out. So this one is called Forrest J. Ackerman's Monsterama. This is a modern book. This is #1. We'll open this one up and see. This is probably just from a few years ago, though. It says it's $3.50 in the US and $4.25 in Canada. We'll open this up really quick and check it out. Okay, so we'll just kind of briefly look at this one. And you can see Roddy McDowell. Is it Roddy McDowell? What the hell? That looks like Roddy McDowell. No, it's not. That's Lon Chaney Sr., according to this, in The Monster. Wow, he looks a lot like Roddy McDowell. Here's, how the hell do you pronounce that name? Wendane Ackerman? 1912 to 1990. This issue is dedicated to the memory of my dear wife, life companion of 41 years, who enriched the field of Imagia movies with her classic feature, Rocket to the Rue Morgue. She died knowing Monsterama was in the works. I'm sorry she never lived to see the premiere number. She was present when I was creating the world's first film monster magazine, Famous Monsters of Filmland. And she was with me in Berlin when I saw my first, what does that say? Science film? Metropolis, that's a good movie. For the 78th time, say hello to Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi and Lon Chaney Sr. and Celia Lovsky and George Pal and Fritz Lang and Prince Serkey for me, Wendy. And if your celestial telescope can zero in on this issue, I hope you enjoy your husband's efforts. And that's his signature there. That's not a real, it's a, obviously it's a facsimile or whatever you call it. It's printed. I'm still not seeing when this came out. Well, if she died in 1990, and this is the first issue, it must be 1990 or 1991, right? I'm not a mathematician or anything like that. I'm just, right here. May 1991. I bid you welcome. So this is a really nice book. I mean, whoever had this really took good care of it because it feels like it was never even opened. And for being something that's 30 plus years old, 1991, 34 years old already. And this thing looks like it was on the shelf today. Look at this little guy here. What is that one from? The Revived Monster with Carlos Navarro. Oh, what the hell? Look at that. Oh, here's what this little guy here is from. It's a wonder someone hasn't passed this off as an alien from a flying saucer. Spaceman from Mexi Magi movie, Monster from the Spaceship. I might have to look that one up. It may even be free here on YouTube. I'll have to check it out. I like those little kind of sci-fi horror movies. Golden Age of Horror. This is when it was really good. Now everything's CGI, which I'm not completely opposed to CGI. I think if it's well done, it could actually add to a movie. But if it's overdone, it just kind of takes away from it, I think. There's a good mix between, you know, CGI and practical effects, I think. If you can get a good blend, you can get a good movie. Ooh, look at this guy. Teenage Frankenstein. Carradine. The proper pronunciation is Carradine. Look at that guy. The Crimson Ghost. I think the Misfits stole that character. There's William Marshall, who was Blackula. Christopher Lee. Wow, this is a good magazine. Holy smokes. There's Uncle Forey. What are these? Here's another Monsterama. I'll kind of pick up the pace here a little bit so it doesn't get too boring. I'm sure most of you guys checked out by now anyway. So this one is number 2 of Forrest J. Ackerman's Monsterama. Now it's $3.50. What was the first one? Let me go back really quick. First one was also $3.50. This one is called Cult Movies. I like the way that cover looks. It's groovy, man, groovy. This one was $4.95 US, $5.95 Canada. Here's Cult Movies number 10. Coffin Joe Invades America. Look at that cover. Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. Godzilla 1994. Oop, she's almost fallen out of her top there. Be careful, honey. Here's Cult Movies number 12. That's a great cover too. Vampira. Milanarmy. Wow. And of course, Boris Karloff. Everybody knows that. If I know that, everybody must know it. Here's where we'll see how lame YouTube is, because there's nothing even close to nudity at all in any of these magazines. Let's see if this gets flagged. This is the British horror ban of 1930. This is Cult Movies number 14. She's in a swimsuit, and it's not even a real photo. It's a drawing or whatever. It's fake. Okay, the next one is Cult Movies number 16. Bela Lugosi in Arsenic and Old Lace. You got Herman and Lily Munster in The Munster's Return. What does that say right there, that little sticker? I don't know what that means. Next one is called Cult Movies number 18. Bela Lugosi is the Ape Man. Ape Man Revisited. Steve Reeves interviewed. Steve Reeves played in some of the Hercules movies. I think either just before Lou Ferrigno or right around the same time. When Karloff was king, that would be a good one. Charlie Chaplin, that guy was funny. I still think, though, my favorite comedian from that era was Groucho Marx. He was hilarious. And every time I heard his joke, when he talks about yesterday he shot an elephant in his pajamas. How the elephant got in his pajamas, he'll never know. And then he flicks his little cigar. That guy was I think it was the delivery. And Groucho Marx was a genius, a comedic genius. Here's Cult Movies number 20. You get Ed Wood on video, Hercules, Samson, and Goliath. 20 videos you must see. We're going to open this one up and see what their 20 videos that we need to see are. Let's check it out. Here, I got a task for you guys. I know I have a handful of loyal viewers and loyal supporters of my channel. Here's what I want you guys to do. Of the 4 guys that I list down below, go leave a comment on their videos, on their latest videos. You don't have to tell them I sent you or anything like that, but just leave a comment that you'd like to see some of their vintage monster books. And hopefully, I don't think you have to twist their arm. They'll be more than happy to. Meyer has a great collection of monster books. I know Kevin does, but he doesn't really make videos yet. He does a lot of things that he's selling, though, like, so you can go check that out. I hope Kevin makes videos someday, because that dude, he's got a lot of stuff. He has like a shrine. He owns a comic book shop, but it's so much more than just comic books. It's like a horror shop. It's pretty awesome. And he does a lot of live streams with Gratu and Meyer. And Kevin will kind of take you on a little tour through his comic book shop. It's amazing. It's in Arizona. One of these days, I'm going to take a trip. I'm going to take a road trip. I'm going to go down and hopefully meet these guys. But yeah, go over to their channels and say, hey, we'd like to see your monster books. Like I said, you don't even have to mention my name at all. Just go over there and subscribe, of course, and just say, hey, let's see your monster books, because I want to see them again. So I want you guys to kind of beg them for me. I guess it's kind of a thing for me too. So you're helping them grow their channel, and you're helping me look at monster books. So let's see if we can find where the page was that they said the 20, what did they say, 20 movies you have to see. Oh, I don't see it. What? I don't want to flip through the whole book, but I think that's what they want you to do. Coffin Joe. There's another guy too I'm going to add. Might as well, because while I'm going through here, I'm thinking of these guys and their channels. So we already talked about Kevin, we talked about Gratu, we talked about Meyer, we talked about Captain, but there's another guy named Bionic Vampire Ninja, and he has a lot of really cool horror figures, but he's so much more than that too, though. He's a wealth of knowledge. These guys they call themselves monster kids, and that's when kids grew up with all this kind of stuff. It's like a badge of honor, kind of like fanboy, stuff like that. It sounds like it's meant to be derogatory if you call somebody a fanboy, but it's not. It's it's an honor thing. So go check all that. I'm gonna link him down below too, and you guys definitely should go check these fun YouTubers out. They got great channels. Gratu goes live quite a bit too, so you can go check him out when he's live, and he often will interact with some of his viewers. If you have a question or something you want to talk to him about, and you leave a comment, he may get back to you. So he does that quite a bit. Pretty down-to-earth dude. Unknown video. Well, I don't want to go through the whole thing again looking for the 20 movies we need to see. But yeah, we're going to just keep moving on. I was just thinking, the early videos that I used to watch, Captain Strangelove, I think he had an Amazing Spider-Man #1. I think. You'll have to ask him. Go to his page and say, I'm pretty sure he had a #1 though, which is ridiculous because that thing went way up in price. But he has a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of the stuff that he has, and Gratu as well, and Dave Meyer, these guys had these books since they came out off the rack. They didn't buy these as collector's pieces. They owned them when they came out, so that's what's really cool about it, I think. But anyway, here's the Three Stooges. Timeless classic. I still watch the Three Stooges all the time. I think my favorite Stooge, it used to be Curly for years, and he's hilarious, but I kind of like Shemp. I like Shemp. He was kind of crazy. This is, I think this is Curly Joe, right? Curly Joe Dorita right here. He was okay. And then there was another one. It was, there was another Curly something. I can't remember now. There was Mo, Larry, Curly, Shemp, Curly Joe Dorita, and then there was a Joe Besser, I think, right? Am I missing one? Oh, here's the Wild and Western World of Sergio Leone. That'd be a good one. Japanese erotic cinema. Okay, here's Cult Movies number 27, Best Dracula Ever. And they're saying it's Bela. You can't really go wrong. There's no wrong answer or right answer. I prefer Christopher Lee, and I probably always will. I just like the way he's built to me like Dracula. Like Dracula would look in my mind. I mean, I bet you Christopher Lee had to be about 6'5", 6'6". He was a tall dude, and he was thin. He had a thin build, and he just had that kind of menacing look to him. Or so did Lugosi, though, too. But just to me, Christopher Lee looked the part a little bit more. He was more frightening. And then there's which one was it with Christopher Lee when he had those really bloodshot eyes? That was freaking terrifying. Was that The Blood of Dracula? I can't remember. I'll look it up really quick. Okay, so they were saying it was Dracula 1958, but I thought, I could have swore it was one of the sequels. But I put a little screen grab there so you can see that, how he looks with the bloodshot eyes, man. That, to me, that's terrifying. Here's Cult Movies number 29, Karloff on TV. We'll go a little bit quicker because I do want to get through the box. I've been talking way too much. The next one is Cult Movies number 31, Yvette Vickers. Beautiful redhead with blue eyes, man. That's my weakness. Dracula's British Invasion. Ralph Bakshi. Next one is called Fantastic and Other Imaginative Media. When does this one come on out? This one came out in 1980 in January. This one is Fantastic Films from November 1979. You can see Frank Langella as Dracula, and is that Sigourney Weaver? Alien 2. And here's James Bond, Moonraker. There's a couple of books I'm gonna skip just because they're not that interesting. I'll show you. There's a couple of these I'm skipping through. These are called Monsters and Heroes. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these. They have kind of a square bound. You're not gonna be able to see that, but maybe you can a little bit. I don't really know much about those, so I just want to get back to the monsters here. This one's called 3D Monsters from, let me see if it has a date. It's so blurry on here because they try to make it that 3D effect. It just says it was 50 cents, but that doesn't say much. Kind of a weird gimmick. Here's Monster World, number 1 from November, 35 cents. Pretty awesome. And I have 2 of those. So we'll just go to the next one. This is number 4 from June. It was 35 cents. Nice little creature from the Black Lagoon, the Gill Man there. Next one is Monster World from October, and it's number 5. I'm going to pause it so we can see the year. It doesn't have that on the front. The next one here, I had to take this out of the bag because I didn't know the year and I wanted to see what it was. It's Monster World, and it's number 5. And this thing looks like it's never even been opened. The book is from 1965. It doesn't have any spine ticks. It only has like a little, I don't know if you can see that where my finger is. There's like a little roll over the top there. I don't want to touch it too much, but everything is like razor sharp. And open it up. The pages are a little bit darkish, kind of around the edges there. But if you look down here, copyright 1965, and this is a reprint maybe, I don't know. I don't think it is though, because it has the original 35 cent price tag there. That's pretty cool. I doubt that this is worth any money or very much money, but I just think it's amazing that this thing is in such good condition for, you know, being 60 years old now. It'll be 60 years old this year. The next one is number 9 from July. The Addams Family. These are pretty fun, but they're also pretty rare. This is called Terror Tales from 1972. And these are usually very violent on the cover, like beheadings and stuff. You'll see what I mean. Like he's eating her neck, just munching away on her flesh. You get the Demon's Night, the Swamp Devils, plus other tales of monsters and things. So they took her, they unburied her from the grave. And they're gonna get some lunch, a little midnight buffet, January 1972. Okay, now we're getting into some of the good ones here at the end. We have a little ways to go yet, but we're getting there. This is Weird from December 1972. See that there? Look at that art. You can see his throne in the back. I can't tell if this is a water stain. I think it looks like it might be. See that stain right there? Yeah, it is. I can feel it kind of, it's bubbled up a little bit. I don't care about that. It's not even really that bad. This is a pretty funny classic one. This one's got all kinds of stuff on here. You got this witch lady, satanic, whatever she is, holding the head of a corpse. And then you got this bat just chewing this guy's face, his eyes hanging out, like demons or whatever, kind of in the background there. The Flesh Rippers plus Drowned in Sand. 60 cents from October 1973. This one is from October 1970. Had a 50-cent price tag. Tale of Shock. That chill with the Fantastic Feast for Vampires. Zombie Army and Dead Man's Train. I took a muscle relaxer. It's starting to kick in. In a good way, though. I feel really, really relaxed right now. The next one is called Shriek. I remember buying this. I think it was like a 4 magazine lot, and it was on Macabre. And the guy who had it listed, it was on there for a good, I want to say probably close to a year. Anywhere from like 8 months to a year. And he had a really high price on it, but being that he didn't have any, maybe he had offers and turned them down, I don't know, but I threw him an offer and I thought was pretty fair, and he took it. So let me see, I got one, I think there was 4 total. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5. This one and 4 other ones, so you'll see them here. I'm going to pull this one out just so I can see what the year is. And these were put out by a company called Acme. If we can, oh boy. It's a little frustrating with that focus, but what are you going to do? I don't want to get all upset about that. And this one's in really good shape too. There's a little bit of, I guess, fading, but as far as I can tell, yeah, there's color. I guess they call it color rub or something. I'm not sure, but there's no spine ticks, and everything else is pretty sharp. You can see that the corners are pretty sharp. And what can we tell? Okay, this one also came out in 1965. October. This was number, oh, bi-monthly. You got 2 magazines a month? Wow. So another 60-year-old magazine that's in really, really good condition. I don't know how much they would knock off, you know, for a grade, for a color rub like that. That's not color rub. That's actually, it looks like a glove or something on his hand. I don't know what that is. But this over here, and it's oh so subtle. You can barely see it. It's a little more pronounced here though. But other than that, I mean, these books are in really good condition, and the pages are pretty white too. I can't believe this thing's 60 years old. Look at Donald Sutherland. He just recently passed. Is that Donald Sutherland? I better stop saying stuff because I've been wrong a lot lately. I think maybe not. Well, we know who that is. Dr. Terror's House of Horror. Hold on one second. I'm feeling like that's Sutherland. I'll be right back. All right, so chalk one up for Old Walnuts. I finally got one right. That is indeed Donald Sutherland. Yeah, these are nice. Who's that dapper gentleman? You know who that is. Really beautiful book. So this is the same book that we just looked at. It's a double, and unfortunately they don't have these numbered, so I don't know which one this is, but I'll show you the other ones just kind of quickly here. This was, oh, so this one says 3, so I'm guessing this must be 1 because it's not numbered. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so this is number 3. Dracula, Prince of Darkness, The Face of Fu Manchu, and Rasputin the Mad Monk. Awesome. The Reptile, the Zombies, Onibaba. If you guys like horror movies and you like Japanese cinema, watch Onibaba. This right here. That's how you spell it, right there. O-N-I-B-A-B-A. That's a great movie. It's in Japanese, though. You have to watch it with English subtitles, but that doesn't ruin it. I thought it was really good. And then this one's not numbered. It just says Winter right there. And the fourth one, it just says May, 50 cents. So they were kind of all over the place with their advertising, the dates and numbers and stuff. Sovereign of the Sinister, The Flesh Eaters, Terrible Truth About Witchcraft, Girl Vampire, Secret of Blood Island, Die, Die, My Darling, and Harikiri. That's also available on Blu-ray from Criterion, but it may have a 4K upgrade by now, I'm not sure. Tallulah Bankhead, she was nice. She was a naughty girl. Just really quick, I'll tell you a story about Tallulah Bankhead. She did some work with Alfred Hitchcock, and she was in one of his movies called Lifeboat, which is a great movie. I really recommend Lifeboat. It's one of my favorite Hitchcock movies. So Tallulah Bankhead was, I think she was the lead. You can consider her the lead in the movie, and she was definitely eye candy. And I can't remember if I saw it in a special feature on like a DVD or something, or if I watched it on YouTube, but they said that in between takes, there was a pole that went from the floor to like a second story, kind of like a little loft area. And they said that she hardly ever wore panties, but she would always wear like a skirt or like a short dress. And she used to go and climb up the pole with her everything showing, and to give the guys a little peek show. So she knew what she was doing, and believe me, the guys gathered around. But I just thought that was pretty funny, because women know what they're doing. Don't ever think that women don't know what they're doing. So the next one is Witch's Tales from April 1970. This one's kind of beat up, but I really don't care. I have this much more to show you guys in this video, so I'll speed it up a little bit. This is what we've gone through already, and we got like this much left. I was going to go through and show you my famous monsters of Filmland, but I think I'll save those for a different video. Otherwise, it'll go too long. And we'll kind of go a little bit quicker here. Check out that old hag. Jeez, look at that. You see what they did there? They made it look like it was mechanical, like they took the heads off of a robot or an android or something. I have a feeling that they had like a spine, or maybe not, I don't know. I guess you have to tune in and read these stories to find out why. But that's Witch's Tales from 1970. I want to get more of these. Those are cool. I think that's the only one I have are Witch's Tales. The next one is Horror Tales. And this one, where's the date? July 1970. They're having a little tug of war with this lady, and you can see they did it again with the kind of the mechanical components. There's like gears and wires and stuff, instead of like bones and blood and muscle tissue and such. Maybe that was their way of getting away with putting something gruesome on the cover without being too gruesome. Next one is kind of a Frankenstein type character. This one's from September 1970. Has a 50-cent price tag. Next one is called Horror Monsters. This is number 4 from Charlton Publications. 35-cent price tag. Fiendish Terror. That's a cool image there of the mummy. You can see how his fingertips broke off. Really, really cool. Next one is from Universal Pictures, The Mole People. 35-cent price tag. Next is Screen Thrills Illustrated. It just says May, number 8, 50 cents. We'll open this one up. You get the Sinister Spider and His Celluloid Web, Marx Brothers, Their Maddest Movies, and Sabu, Hero of Modern Arabian Nights. We don't have to open this one up. I just wanted to see a date, but we're going to keep moving. Here's Horror of Beach Party, 35-cent tag. What else can I tell you about it? Does it have a month? It doesn't. It just says famous films, The Horror of Party Beach. It's kind of the cliff notes of the movie. You can see the whole movie in this little thin magazine. Next one is called Monster Madness. This is number 2, 60 cents. It was put up by the Marvel Monster Group. There's a Warren magazine called Ring of the Warlords from January 1979. $1.50 price tag. I like the way the border looks, and I like the way the font with the kind of, what would you call it, like burgundy and cream colors. I like the way that looks. To me, it has the feel of a 70s item. But check out these monsters here. Look at that guy right there. This is why I've always been a fan of the villains in the cartoons, because the villains look so much cooler. Look at this guy. This guy, he's got two skulls hanging around his neck. I don't really remember much about this one. I'll take it out. We'll flip through this one really quick. It's called Weird Tales of the Macabre. This is January #1. It's 75-cent price tag. It's another one that's in pretty good condition, considering this is probably at least 30, 35 maybe years old. 1975, it's almost 50. It'll be 50 years old this year. Actually, January 9th, it's 50 already. It turned 50 in January of 2025. You can see some of the, here, I'm gonna let you see one. I just wanna get to a good page. Don't worry, I'm not, here we go. Here's something pretty cool. This is the 8 inches tall, all plastic snap together hobby kits featuring your favorite characters from the incredible sci-fi Apes saga. The Flintstones. You can have your own exclusive scaled model starring Fred Flintstone and his friend, the Rock Cruncher. 6 inches tall. Star Trek. Man, this was a good time to be alive. I wish I can go back and be a kid again, but have the appreciation that I do now of that stuff. I know that's a lot to ask for, but of course it could never happen. But you can wish. Where they say you got wishes in one hand and shit in the other, and see which one fills up first. Something like that. Oh, did we find out what year this came out? Yeah, we did, 1975. This one is called Nightmare. December 1972, number 10, 60 cents. Evil Lunatic Thing. Man, they really did a good job making that thing look fluffy. Some of these artists are amazing. That's another thing. If you go to Gratu or Meyer, Kevin, Captain Strangelove, Bionic Vampire Ninja, they know all of these artists and authors, and it's almost like you're in college learning about things that you love, you know what I mean? It's really cool. It's like classes in session every time you go there. Here's another one called Weird Worlds from December 1970, 50 cents. This right here is something that has always fascinated me, space vampires. like Life Force or Planet of the Vampires. Those are really fun for me. I love those movies. So I bet that story is pretty cool. Atomic Monsters, the green horror, plus the outer space creature features. Oh, look at this thing. It's like a worm or a snake. And wait, is that an arm from the monster, or is it something that it's swallowed and it's breaking through? I have no idea. It's hard to tell, but no, it must be one of its legs, because he has another one up here and another one here, so it must be his hind leg. It'd be cool to own some original art like this. I think Captain Strangelove does. He owns some original artwork from vintage comics or magazines. Here's Weird Worlds from 1971, 50-cent sticker price. Or not really a sticker price, but you know what I mean. Gut Clutching. Let's try that again. Gut Clutching Tales of Shocking Terror, Eerie Suspense, Weird Horror in Outer Space. I feel like they could have done a little more with this cover, because I know you're kind of getting that burst, that sonic burst or whatever that is, but it just feels like it's a lot of empty, wasted space right there. I don't know. Next one is a more modern book, but this one is 23 years old already. This is Monster Memories number 10. Look at how much that one cost, $7.95, 23 years ago. And this is kind of a cover homage to Creepy magazine number 1. And it's supposed to look like an Uncle Creepy. With apologies to Jack Davis and Uncle Creepy, Beatty. I don't think he was trying to make fun of. I think it was more like an homage or a tribute to Davis and Creepy magazine. Just a couple more, I think 2 more. This is called Mad Monster, first issue. Oh, damn, hold on a second. She just almost knocked over all of my books onto the floor. I'll be right back. Not that it would have been the end of the world. I'd rather not if I didn't have to. So they're kind of safe, I guess, for now. This is called Mad Monster, first issue. It's kind of a thick, heavy book. It's definitely more modern. I don't know what year it is yet, though. But it has really thick, glossy pages. Here's Frank Frazetta. It's like a tribute to him. February 9th, 1928, May 10th, 2010. Printed in the USA. I'm still not seeing a year. I wonder if it is 2010 or 2011, maybe. Want to write to us? You can write to them or email them. What does it say here on the bottom? Nope, doesn't say the year. This is a really nice book, though. Some pop culture icons here at the bottom. How many can you name? We got Bub from Day of the Dead. We got Slimer from Ghostbusters. Michael Jackson from Thriller. Fright Night. What was Brewster's friend's name? I can't remember offhand. There's a tall man from Phantasm. There's Pumpkinhead must be Medusa from Clash of the Titans. That is Linnea Quigley's character from Return of the Living Dead. There's two I'm missing. I don't know who this one is. It doesn't really ring a bell. And then, oh, that's American Werewolf in London, I think. That's who it's supposed to be. Yeah, it is. I just have to find out who that one is. It's not Candyman. There's like a little guy there. I don't know who that is. And this is from, what's that anthology with Karen Black? Trilogy of Terror, something like that. Trilogy of Terror, and there was that little, like a little African statue that kind of came to life. That was actually kind of a creepy segment in that. I think it's called Trilogy of Terror. There's Christine. Plymouth Fury, right? I can't remember what year that was, but I believe Christine was a Plymouth Fury. Maybe it says here. 1958 Plymouth Fury, right at the top. Wow, the original price for that was $3,032. Wow, looks like they only made 5,000 of them. It's a pretty cool book. Yeah, this is pretty good. So I think we'll end on this one, which is Castle of Frankenstein, which I don't believe this was part of the original run. I think this is when they kind of resurrected it. This is number 35. Yeah, definitely not an original. It's $7. I will take this one out since it's the last one. We'll take a flip through and then we'll end the video.